Very warm welcome from our side. Sebastian Siegmund and I, Darius Sostov, are here to give you a warm welcome to our webinar, MiC 4.0, concerning sales values and some information what is the advantage of MiC 4.0 and why it is now important for machine manufacturers, also for attachment manufacturers to use to jump on the train of MiC 4.0. I want to clarify something at the beginning of the meeting. In some cases, some guys are thinking we are coming up with an absolutely new approach. No, MiC 4.0 is nothing new, and MiC 4.0 is nothing to use instead of present or given procedures or standards. MiC 4.0 based on ISO 15143. We will see this later on in our presentation. And it's absolutely important that construction companies needs data to describe their processes in a digital way, and they need data from the machines, from the attachments. And this is the basis of MiC 4.0, using the ISO standard and make the data usable for every participant in the same way. For this purpose, we have a short video, which my colleague Sebastian will show us, for a first general approach and the first general understanding of MiC 4.0.
The essential key factor for the productivity of a construction site is the degree of digitalization of machines and processes. The important factor here, all relevant systems, owned or rented machines and equipment from partners or subcontractors speak the same language. Networked with each other, they communicate uncomplicated, clear, and error-free, regardless of their function, type, or manufacturer. Standardized machine and construction process data is the basis for this. For example, construction machinery can be better planned and utilized together with the right equipment brought to the right place at the right time in the right quantity, and the intervals for refueling or maintaining the equipment can be optimized. The way to the digitalized construction site is a long one, as every machine manufacturer has its own individual solutions and data transmission paths. So far, there's been no common digital language and no standardized understanding for data exchange. Standardized data on machine condition, construction process, and execution quality is still missing, as well as an easily accessible overview of which construction machines deliver which data in which quality. This is now changing. The project has reached first important milestones. Since 2019, committed manufacturers, machine users, and software developers have been coming together at one table and have created the basis for a common digital language. For some device types, it is already clear which machine and process data is required and in which format. Many of these are already supplied. Others will be added step by step over the next few years. Experts have developed and tested the necessary transmission protocols. With the MiC 4.0 standard for construction, machinery reliably records which construction machines can deliver which data in which quality. Manufacturer independent, machine overarching, and based on existing standards such as ISO 15143. But how does MiC 4.0 work? MiC 4.0 has set up a test tool for manufacturers and the MiC 4.0 database for users. In the test tool, machine manufacturers check whether their construction machine can send data in accordance with the MiC 4.0 standard. Only when this has been ensured, the machine receives our label and is added to the freely accessible MiC 4.0 database. Here, the user can check and compare the digital compatibility of construction machinery from different manufacturers at any time. The database is updated regularly. We add further certified data to existing machines and add new machines on an ongoing basis. For the buyer of a machine, the symbol provides security. The manufacturer hands over the machine-specific label as a document with the purchase contract and thus guarantees the delivery of the specified data. MiC 4.0 provides machines with reliable, comparable machine status and process data for their construction software. creating an important basis for the digitalization and automation of our construction sites. To create your construction site organization, scheduling, maintenance planning, and quality verification. MiC 4.0, many machines, one digital language. More at mic40.org.
Yes, Sebastian, thank you very much for this impressive video. As we can see, we are doing nothing new. We are coming up with the basis of the ISO 15143, but the current problem is that every machine manufacturer has his own interpretation of the data are presented in the ISO standard. And this was the reason why the user of the machines came to us and say, we need one common digital language and one common understanding of the data which I receive from my machine, from my OEM manufacturer. We do not want to have any longer single solutions from every manufacturer and in different ways. We need one common understanding. This is, once again, the approach of MiC 4.0 based on the existing standard. As we can see in the video, we have some sales arguments, site organization, process managing, dealing with the machine use, the location of the machine, use of fuel consumption, and so on. And this is what the construction companies need to describe their processes and their work in a digital way. As we have heard in the video, MiC 4.0 has a test tool and MiC 4.0 has a database. So we say on MiC 4.0 side, we make the ISO standard touchable because we prove your argument. Yes, I sent you the right data in the way of the ISO standard. And we said on MiC 4.0 side, because the user wants to have this, we check this. We check what you say. Are you right? Are you sending in the right way? In the same way as the other OEM manufacturer? And this is the test tool. Yeah. Later on the database, Sebastian, I will hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Darius, very much. But before we get a deeper dive into the database, maybe want to talk about another topic of MiC 4.0. Yeah, we already said that many machines already provide data, yeah, and the construction companies are already using this data. We have heard about a lot of different benefits of this data, yeah. But we have a second topic, yeah, that's also available in the database, and that's the MiC 4.0 bus system, yeah. Could you maybe tell us a little bit more about the MiC 4.0 bus system before we get into the database? Yeah.
Yes, of course. MiC 4.0 bus. I do not want to explain the MiC 4.0 bus today because we have in 2, 3, 4 weeks another webinar which will explain and show you the MiC 4.0 bus, but in a short and compact version. Imagine if you have an OEM machine, an excavator, for example. An excavator is using an attachment, a hammer, for example. And now you want to change the hammer for a compactor. And the question is the compactor able to work together with the OEM machine? Yes or no? Do I have to make some changes like hydraulic, like data, like so on? And with the help of the MiC 4.0 bus, in short words, you have change, plug, and work. You can change the attachments to the excavator because both machine types are speaking MiC 4.0. Mm-hmm. We do not standardize. Let me give this explanation. We do not standardize the physical contact, the quick coupler or what else. This is nothing what we standardize, but we standardize the digital way of data exchange. And this is an absolutely novum because the user of the attachment can change however they want if both sides, attachment and the excavator or the OEM machine, is speaking MiC 4.0 bus protocol.
That sounds like a big benefit for everyone, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Then I would say let's dive deeper into the MiC 4.0 software, yeah? Maybe all of you already know that we have two different kind of software at MiC 4.0. So the first one is the MiC 4.0 test tool, yeah, you already mentioned, yeah. There, all the manufacturers can add and test their different machine models and the digital compatibilities, yeah. And after this, yeah, they can transfer these models to the database, which is public. Yeah, and everyone has access to it, and everyone can have a look into it and can compare the different digital compatibilities of the different models of the different manufacturers. Yeah, so I would skip the first software because that's only for the machine manufacturers, yeah, and also available for the machine manufacturers. And so let's get directly into the MiC 4.0 database, where the results of the MiC 4.0 are touchable for everyone. Yeah,
please show us.
Yes, of course. So I will share my screen now. So how can you reach the MiC 4.0 database? That's the first question. You can go to the mic40.org. That's our homepage, our official homepage, mic40.org. And there you can go to the menu here on the right side. And there you got different options. Here you can see the test tool, you can see the database. And to reach the database, you could click on this button. Yeah. Another option would be that you click here directly to this big orange button. Yeah, there you can also access the database directly. But here you get firstly a small overview of the database. You get some different guidelines in German, also in English language, and you also get the terms of use of the MiC 4.0 database. So very important for you, the registration for the MiC 4.0 database is free for everyone. So you can register for free and you can access it for free. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. So now we click on this button. So I am already registered. So but I will go directly to the database. So, and this is how it looks like when you log in to the MiC 4.0 database. We have the database available also in German and English language. So here we already have English language, the settings. Yeah. And what you can see here now is some different kind of filter options. You can see you can search different construction machines by the machine type. And what is really interesting is that we have our structure from the different MiC 4.0 clusters. So we have a lot of different machine types like earth-moving machines, we have lifting equipment, we have special civil engineering machines, road construction, concrete technology, and also different attachments for the, you already mentioned it, MiC 4.0 bus.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah. So second one is the brand, so the manufacturer. So you can also filter by a different manufacturer. Yeah, if you want to choose one special one, for example. So let's take an example. At the first time we can take, for example, a wheel loader. So we go to the earth moving, take this button here for all wheel loaders. And now the system shows all the manufacturer that already have some wheel loaders in the MiC 4.0 database available. Yeah, so you can see these are these manufacturers here on the right side. Now the third filter option are the attributes. So when you are especially, for example, searching for a different power of the machine or different weight of the machine, you can set your numbers here in this filter option. Yeah, for a smaller machine, for a middle machine, bigger machine. Yeah, it depends on what you're searching for. And now the last filter is the supplied data. This is of course one of the most interesting filters because here you can choose which kind of data the machine must provide. Yeah, in this example, we can choose maybe the operating hours. We can choose, for example, the latitude, longitude, so the position of the machine that should send in our MiC 4.0 format and understanding. Yeah. So and now the brands we have all brands. I don't want to take just one. We take all available in the database. And now we click on search. And now you get all the results, yeah, that are meeting these requirements you choose in the filter options. So you can see here the different manufacturers. Yeah, we have, for example, Paus. We have, for example, Wacker Neuson. We have different wheel loaders from Kramer. We have also Liebherr. We have also Atlas in there. Yeah, so we get an overview of all the available models there in the database. And now, if you want to get more details of it, you just need to click on it, and then you get a more detailed overview of this special machine model. So you can see on the left side some kind of technical data like the production year, production month, software information. You get information about the power of the weight of the machine. You also have additional BGL parameter or device. That's some kind of German thing. Yeah. Here on the right side, a picture of this model, and also interesting here, the certification MiC 4.0 ready. Yeah. If you choose it with your mouse, then you can see the description again, what the label MiC 4.0 means in this case.
That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you scroll down, you get an overview of all the supplied data. And now you can see all the data that are possibly available for this kind of machine type. So for all the earth-moving machines, there are all this data theoretically available. Yeah. And now you can see where this hook is with the blue screen. Yeah. The machine is delivering this kind of data, and where we have the gray cross, the machine is not delivering this data. But very important to mention, the database does not contain live operating data. That's very important. There are no real data in the database. Yeah, this is just the possible data that the machine could send, but there's no real data of the machine in it.
Machine is able to give it to the customer, to the user.
That's correct. So very important for you to know. Okay, and now you can scroll down. You get the full overview of all the different data. Also important is you can now create a PDF machine certificate. You can see this button here on the right side down. If you click on this, it will automatically download a PDF file with a machine certificate. And this is very important for all the machine manufacturers. So when you want to sell your machine with the MiC 4.0 ready label, for example, you can download this machine certificate of this special model. Then you can enter the individual serial number of this machine model into this. You can get a stamp, you can get a signature for it. Yeah, it depends on what you want to choose. And then you have the guarantee. You are able to provide a certificate, yeah, as proof, yeah, that the machine is really delivering these data in our MiC understanding. Yeah, and this is a very, very big benefit because you have tested this model before the test tool, and now you get an official proof for the sale that the machine is really delivering this kind of data.
This is absolutely the ask from the customer side, from
Definitely.
the production company, because they say we have our software and every machine does not depend on the manufacturer or manufacturer A, B, C, and so on, has to come into my system. I do not want to make a translation of the result which I receive. And if you guarantee this MiC 4.0 understanding based on the ISO standard, on the given ISO standard, then you're absolutely in line with what the customer is asking for. This is the guarantee. And this is the reason why we came up with this database. And it's a customer need.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, so you already saw the certificate. Now I will go back to the database. What is also interesting for you is that you can also compare different machine models here. So if you are not sure, yeah, which model you should choose, yeah, because they all meet the requirements, yeah, you filtered before, then you can, for example, choose up to 3 different models. Yeah, it's just an example. And you then can click on compare, and then you get a comparison of these 3 different models directly in the database. And you can also download this comparison directly as PDF file, for example, that you have something in your hands. But here you can see there's a direct comparison between these 3 different models of the 3 different manufacturers, for example. Yeah, and which kind of data they are delivering. So far, okay.
Yeah, one thing, if you can go back.
Yes.
You've mentioned at the beginning the data on the left side. These are based, if you click on one machine, that you can see what kind of data the machine is delivering. We can see that all these topics are from the ISO 15143 standard of fleet management data. And if you have a mouse over the I button, then you can see the original ISO standard text so that you can read what's behind telematic data, what's behind production data, and so on. And in some cases, we have, as we mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, we have further interpretation from MiC 4.0 side. The origin example is in the ISO standards, they say, please send the machine is on. The question on customer side was, in which condition is your machine if you are sending my machine is on? And we have heard several answers from the machine manufacturer. The radio must playing, the engine must running. Oh, it depends on the question, is it a small or large machine? And the customer says it's absolutely impossible. We need one common understanding. This is once again the circle to one common understanding. And in this information box, you can see also in the ISO standard in the future, if the crankshaft on a combustion engine is running, then the machine is in the status I am on. Yeah. This is not fitting all the situations, but it's much more as we have today, because today it's an interpretation from OEM manufacturer side.
Definitely, yeah. And so, as Darius already mentioned, yeah, you can have the click on this eye, yeah, and then you get the interpretation, the meaning, the understanding of the MiC 4.0 of each of these different machine data points. And if there is no information, then it's the same like in the ISO standards. There's no deeper interpretation of it.
Yeah. No deeper interpretation necessary. Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we talked about another topic. So we now talked about the MiC 4.0 already, so the telemetry data of the machines. But we already talked about the MiC 4.0 bus system.
Oh yes.
Yes, so it's now.
Can you show us some information in the database also about the MiC 4.0 bus?
Definitely.
I'm sure. Please do so.
So we have at the moment one manufacturer that has already tested some different attachments with the MiC 4.0 bus system and is already available in the database. Yeah, I will show you this. So this is from the company Wacker Neuson, and there is the EW100 excavator. And you can see, yes, this excavator has the MiC 4.0 already logo. Yeah. So it's sending a different kind of data, but it has in addition the MiC 4.0 bus logo. Yeah. So what does this mean? That means that the manufacturer Wacker Neuson have physically tested this EW100 excavator, with different attachment manufacturers together on basis of the MiC 4.0 bus system. So they tested physically together, and then they both gets the confirmation. So we got the confirmation from both of them that this combination works on basis of the MiC 4.0 bus system. Okay. And this is what you can see here. We have the MiC 4.0 bus logo, and you can see here in the machine information part that this excavator is already ready or tested with different manufacturers like Ancona, like Egli, HKS. You can read all these manufacturers for yourself, And now we can also go the other way. So we can search, for example, like for an attachment. Let's take, for example, and compacting tools. So there we have, for example, different systems from the company MTS. Okay, this is another one. Let's take, this was the wrong one, just a second, please. It's the adapter tool. Is it with plate X or plate? What's this one? Yeah. So, and now if you go to the attachments, you can see also the attachment with the technical data and also with the picture. And you can also see the MiC 4.0 bus logo on it.
On the attachment side.
On the attachment side.
Okay.
And also the machine information that this attachment is MiC 4.0 bus ready with the Wacker Neuson EW100 excavator. And it's the system. We built this with the MiC 4.0 logos. In the database.
Why do we have a physical test? It is, I believe, for the participants, an absolutely relevant question. Why do we have a physical test? If we say, I use the MiC 4.0 bus protocol, then it must be clear. But the manufacturers, both OEM machines and the attachments, say we are fitting two steel parts together. and it's a question of safety use. And this is the reason why in the beginning, later on, we will see, but in the beginning, we want to make a physical test because we have a tool recognition. MiC 4.0 bus. I do not want to go too deep into the MiC 4.0 bus, but we have the chance and the advantage that the information of an attachment which is using the MiC 4.0 bus protocol is shown on the OEM display of the machine. We do not need on machine side any additional display like in the past. If both sides are having and using the MiC 4.0 bus protocol, we can see it on the machine. We put the attachment to the machine. I see what kind of oil pressure, what kind of voltage, what kind of tool I put to the machine. And this is the reason why they say, okay, we have to do a physical check at the beginning. This is what you said. You give a handshake. Both sides are telling us in the MiC 4.0 office, yes, we have tested. And at the moment, Wacker Neuson has done this test with some attachment manufacturer. Liebherr, Volvo is doing the same, and they will come up with the machines in the next few days and weeks, also in the MiC 4.0 database. You can put your attachment, of course, in the MiC 4.0 database without testing. But remember, if the customer is looking into the database and they say, I have this and this attachment, I have this and this excavator, and they are working together with the given situation, this attachment with this excavator, which kind of attachment or which kind of excavator are fitting in the same way into my fleet? And then the customer can have a look in the database and can say, okay, this excavator is doing the same as my other one. This attachment is absolutely in line with my given attachment. And this is what the customer has the advantage if your machine, if your attachment is in the MiC 4.0 database. And the question, how I can bring up machines or attachment into the MiC 4.0 database.
Yeah, it's the same way like for the other machine models. Yeah, it's about the MiC 4.0 test tool. So all the attachment manufacturers also get access to the MiC 4.0 test tool, where they can add their different attachment models, yeah, and then transfer it to the MiC 4.0 database. It's the same way like for the machine models.
As you said at the beginning, the MiC 4.0 test tool is only for machine or attachment manufacturer. The MiC or the access to the MiC 4.0 test tool is given via the MiC 4.0 office, so that no one else as machine or attachment manufacturers will receive an access to our MiC 4.0 test tool. This is what we are absolutely having an eye on. This is absolutely clear. And it's also free for use, free of use, no fees. You have no fees to pay if you want to bring up machines into the MiC 4.0 database. And concerning the MiC 4.0 ready logo, concerning the data based on ISO 15143, you have to fulfill the necessary obligation. Means that from the 20 data which are based on the ISO standard, which are tested at the MiC 4.0 test tool, one as a minimum must be working. Then you can bring up your machine into the database. If other machines are giving more data than your machine, it's up to you. It's the market. It's not up to MiC 4.0. If the customer say, I need a machine who must send 20 data and yours is only sending 15 data, then it's your problem, not problem of MiC 4.0. On the other side, if your machine is not in the system, then you can receive a problem, because some of the customers are saying we are directly asking for MiC 4.0 compatibility, because it's much more easier for us to receive one common understanding, one common language, one common interpretation from the machine manufacturer side. And it doesn't make it different what kind of manufacturer. And in the future, now we have currently the condition data, the fleet management data, and be sure we are working at the process data for describing construction processes, which is much more of interest for a construction company. And this is the reason why we said at the beginning, we make the possibility of a comparison between the machines.
Yep. And Darius, as I already said, the database is always growing. Yeah. At the moment, in total, we have more than 22 different manufacturers already in the database. Can you maybe give a small outlook, yeah, how it's going on, and maybe if there are coming other data in the future, other digital compatibilities, for example? Yeah, maybe you can give short outlook.
Short outlook. Yeah, we have the ISO standard 15143-3, the so-called fleet management data since 2016. And as you imagine, and we heard in the image video, since 2019, we have the MiC 4.0 initiative, because the customers come and say, we need more clearness, absolutely more clearness and understanding of the data. As I said, every manufacturer is giving his own interpretation to his customer, and the customer is sitting with four, five, six different languages and understanding. This is the reason why we said, okay, we have to look to the ISO standard, and we have to come to a common understanding. The 20 data for earth-moving machinery we have placed in the test tool. We can see in the database. For road construction, it's the same, because the ISO standard is given for earth-moving machinery and road construction. We in MiC 4.0, we say it doesn't make it different what kind of machine is behind the data. Because the question, is the machine on or off? Is the machine driving 20 or 50 miles per hour? Is the machine using 10 or 100 liters per hour? Doesn't depend on the machine type. And this is why we said, okay, our approach in MiC 4.0 is to have a look. As we can see in the database you have shown us, we look to all types of machines. This is absolutely a novum. It's not the ISO standard, but if we have a look to concrete machinery, to lifting equipment and so on, the basis in MiC 4.0 for doing so is still the same. It's the ISO 15143, because we are coming up next with other machine types. And we say we have to use this given ISO standard as the basis. And the next steps I mentioned in a short sentence is the question of data of the working process. This is what the customer needs. The customer wants to describe, the customer has to describe his job on the construction side, and this is only solved by relevant data. If they have to give a carbon footprint, how can you give a carbon footprint from a job on the construction site? You have to know what amount of fuel you use, how long the machine is working, what kind of job the machine is doing, and as a result of some mathematic complex approaches, you can come to the result 100 tons of CO2. And this is what customers need, and absolutely independent of the manufacturer and also machine overarching. And this is the same approach. This is what we are now delivering together with the ISO standard 15143, because since last year we are invited and we are sitting at the table at ISO 15143 together with a large manufacturer like Caterpillar, like Komatsu, like Hitachi, like Liebherr, and we are developing the approach concerning process data to describe the processes. And MiC 4.0 has an absolute advantage, because MiC 4.0 has construction companies in his membership. This is what ISO standard on ISO level never will have, because it's a technical committee for machine manufacturers, mechanical manufacturers, and the ISO standard is not for construction companies.
Really interesting. Thank you very much, Darius. Yeah. Then I want to give you a small notice, because we are now coming more and more to an end. So as you already mentioned in the last in my last part, there is already available some different guidelines, especially for the MiC 4.0 test tool and also for the database. So when you go back to the mic40.org homepage, you can find a lot of information, yeah, about the MiC 4.0 in general, yeah, about the MiC 4.0 test tool, yeah, with always in German and also in English language, and of course for the MiC 4.0 database. So very detailed guideline with different screenshots, pictures, descriptions. There's everything in there. So please use all this information. You can also download our result papers, yeah, from the machine condition data for free. It's also available, the link to this on our website. So please make use of this. Yeah, that's my notice. And yeah, of course, we also are very active, for example, in social media. So, for example, we have our LinkedIn account, the MiC 4.0 One Digital Language. So please, we invite you to follow, to like, to share, to comment, yeah, to be active together with us, that we can grow this topic in the future. Yeah, and as you also already mentioned, there were further webinars planned. So maybe you can say one more sentence to the next webinar.
Yeah, the next webinar, we will come up with a MiC 4.0 bus for attachments for excavators. In this case, I can only say you must not participate in MiC 4.0 results or MiC 4.0 approaches. But on the other side, the customer is asking for. And as I said at the beginning, MiC 4.0 or using MiC 4.0 is not instead of your own manufacturer internal system. It's an add-on. You can use MiC 4.0 bus protocol, for example, as an add-on so that the customer has the possibility to use the MiC 4.0 advantages and not instead of your own support or your own software solutions. That's absolutely clear. I can only say it's an absolutely good decision if you say, okay, we are, as the manufacturer of machines or the manufacturer for attachments, are starting very early to a common understanding, to a common approach, common interpretation, common digital language, like the approach of MiC 4.0 based on ISO 15143, because in the next time, much more customers will ask for MiC 4.0 solutions, MiC 4.0 understanding or interpretation.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Darius. And now I think we come to an end. Yeah.
We have some questions. Our technical support tell us that we have some questions. Okay. So I think we have enough time to look at 1, 2, or 3 questions.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have the chat.
So let's see. Okay. Yeah. There is one question. Can the data be seen only if registered? If yes, how can be registered? So I think that's for the MiC 4.0 database, the data.
Yeah. Yeah. As you said, as a machine manufacturer, I have to come over the MiC 4.0 test tool into the MiC 4.0 database and can show what kind, not the real data, as you mentioned, what kind of data can my machine deliver to you. And at the end, at the MiC 4.0 database, everyone worldwide can register by giving the email and can see this manufacturer, this machine type can deliver me this, can deliver to me this kind of data. It's absolutely for free. The MiC 4.0 is not a product catalog, but if you understand it as a product catalog for the possibility of receiving data from the given machine, from a given manufacturer, then of course it could be a product catalog.
Yeah. And as Darius already mentioned, you just need your name and an email address for registration, and that's all. Yeah. Okay. Then we have a second question here in the chat. Does the data in the standard protocol come from the machine's physical port or from the manufacturer's database, or both? So please, Darius.
Absolutely clear. If we say we have the ISO 15143-3 as the basis, as a standard, we do not dealing with machine data, which is coming directly from the machine. Not today. The data from the machine is coming to the so-called OEM server. And you as the customer, as the construction company, will receive or pick up the data from the OEM server. And this understanding, this data, which is coming from the OEM server to the OEM customer server, construction company server, this is what we are talking about. MiC 4.0, in the same way as the ISO standard, is not dealing with the question how the data is coming from your machine to your OEM manufacturer server. This is nothing. This is absolutely out of scope. Today, we are also not dealing, and this is the question in a lot of question, a lot of time. What about machine-to-machine communication? Yes. I do not know when we have this. We will have this later on. We said on MiC 4.0 side, if you are not sure that your machine is in the same condition if it is on as my machine, so we have no chance to speak about machine-to-machine communication. We have to receive a common understanding first, because different manufacturers with different machines, a wheel loader and a lifting equipment, a tower crane, speak together. Today, absolutely impossible. The first step, and this is what we are doing in MiC 4.0, we have to come to a common understanding. This is absolutely necessary first.
Thank you very much, Darius. Yeah. Okay, then I would say we come to the closing of this meeting. Yeah. So in the end, I will have a last slide with a small poll with a QR code you can scan. Yeah, and there we very invite you to provide some feedback for this webinar now. Yeah. But at first, let me say thank you. Thank you to you, to your participants. Thank you to all supporters. Thank you to you, Darius. Yeah, and as we already said, we already got the invitation for our next webinar about the MiC 4.0 bus. And yeah, please feel free to invite your colleagues, dealers, partners, yeah, everyone who's interested for this. Yeah.
Okay, I also want to say a very warm thank you to Susanne Biernat and Martina Scherbel. Without these both guys, these both ladies, this technical webinar was not so easy to handle. Thank you very much for this. You've made an absolutely good job and give us the possibility to concentrate us on the topics of MiC 4.0 and not on topics of technical affairs or what else behind, in front, and also in the following of this webinar. Thank you very much.